So we got a standard looking Motion RC box, very big, I would say. Let's go ahead and fragile, handle with care. So this is very exciting times. Everybody, I wouldn't say everybody, I would say Motion RC is doing some exciting things. Horizon is doing Horizon's things in a different kind of manner. You know, seems like they're doing a lot of re-releases and things like that. The most recent release was that Extra 330, which is the same as the Extra 300. Like, isn't that weird to anybody else but me? Yeah, they made a couple of upgrades, but like, offer something new like this. This is new. Not the same dead thing that you had, which, don't get me wrong, if you looked at my Extra 300 video that I just made, I was actually able to come up on one from a buddy. He wasn't flying it, and I was interested, really about to pull the trigger on the 330 because I know how the reviews go. Everybody wants to see the brand new. And he was like, just take it, fly it. And then later on in the conversation, decided to sell it to me. So now when I crash it, I can take full ownership of it because, you know, I don't have to worry about being delicate now. A nice looking box, I would say. But most people are like, who cares? Who cares about the box? And I'm kind of like that too, I guess. As long as the product inside is great, who really cares what kind of box it came in? Most people don't even keep the box for a day. I'm weird. I got like every box for every plane I've had. So like my garage is super junky. And I ain't gonna lie to you. So like on this box, this is the box candles, both 6 and 8S. So you can see on here, you got the 6S standard and the 8S. This is the Big Daddy, the 8S version. Let's see if we can get it out of the house. Yeah, let me go to the other side. All right, finally. So, got your Motion RC with this little yellow tabby that seems to come on a lot of Motion RC products. A little tiny multi-function control box. Brochure. Okay, that's for the little, yep, got it. Looks like the motor and ESC paperwork. Weird, because it's like it came in a box originally and it was all folded up, and now like this is so cool that like somebody physically installed this in here and threw this in. Anyway, I don't know, it's just weird to me. All right, we'll look at the brochure, at the manual in a minute. Get that out the way. Let's get a few more pieces of tape dealt with. Well, as far as unboxing stuff goes, I would definitely say if you're into like some kind of purist and you're super judgmental on things, and you just make a lot of comments about stuff, the packing or the packaging that I have experienced coming from Motion is not as refined, I would say. Not, trust me, this piece there was a piece across this end cap here. There's another piece you just saw me remove from here. There's another piece of foam here. But like these missiles are just sitting here loose. And look at the size of these missiles. How cool is that? These are gonna be so cool. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's get it out. I'm not gonna bore you with all of the details of pulling this out. I mean, seriously, I'm just taking out the box. Along my travels of unboxing it, I noticed that this is right where I just pulled the missiles out from. This was just sitting there loose. So just a mention during the unboxing. I'll keep going, but you need to watch all the details of this. I thought this was like a moment. So I decided to come back on. I peeked underneath there, but look at this big jobby. Whoa. Each piece is individually wrapped. Snug as a bug in a rug and all its little compartments around here. So I was looking for these sidewinders. Okay, so you got your sidewinder missiles. And they're on actual racks, which don't look like Lao 7s, but I'm not that familiar with the F-16 stores, so perhaps that's the way it goes for an F-16. Man, look at the size of this drop tank. Alrighty, get a lot of this stuff out of the way. Oh, get this out of here. And I usually use a larger table, but today I decided to use this one because it gives me more room to walk around, and perhaps that wasn't a good call. Because this thing is chewing up every bit of real estate on this little table. All right, another huge tank. And all of this ordnance, by the way, it looks really good. Now there's wood inserts where it sits in the box. That's pretty cool. And it's actually taped. Okay, yeah, it was taped down. All right, let's get this out. Go ahead and move this out the way so I can get everything to sit stably and that piece won't cooperate. Get this on the table by itself. So there are all your parts. Get the last couple of pieces out the box here. I don't know what they are. So you got this. Looks like one of your air brakes. Oh, and another one. How cool can that be? Very cool to me. So some pieces of wood inside this box that held that thing suspended in. I'm gonna go ahead and break those out of there because that's a nice piece of plywood I could use for any kind of application. So just an added note, try and hurry up because I don't want to, nobody wants a 2-hour video. Let me pause this. You don't need to see me unwrap this. I mean, seriously. So you see all your systems. How cool is this nozzle? Yeah, anyway. You got some little detail looking pieces. I don't, we'll see this like cockpit perhaps. Nope, it's not cockpit because the cockpit is complete over there. So we'll see when we get to it in the directions, but they all look very well painted. Look at that details like crazy. So yeah, look at this. Oh, very small pieces. Oh, this looks like a button control panels. Definitely looks like stuff for detail. Anyway, cover that you get your 2 little pieces like that. I think these are the covers for that, perhaps. Well, there's only 2. A couple of little more detail pieces I see. Pitot tubes and such. A bag full of screws and different whatnots, little plug-ins and all that kind of jobby. It looks like I got a parts list on it. Yeah, it's screwed, 12 piece. All right, let's get into the book. So the manual goes into explanation, the 6S version. It's got a 3668, 1960. This one, this 8S version, has a 4075, 1350 kV motor. So a little bit slower spinning, but can take that voltage. So that's that. That's your parts list. Pretty much what we did. We got the 6 missiles, 2 dropped. So now it goes into it. Okay, those little rubber pieces and the nozzle. So here's the nozzle, and that's those little rubber pieces that I was speaking of earlier. Look like they go into the end of this, and let's get them out and see what they do. All right, so as soon as you open your little parts baggie, I didn't notice it at first, but once I opened it, and I had to follow that to the ground and make sure I don't have to look for it too much. But there's 2 different sizes. So obviously the smaller of the 2 is what goes on this nozzle. So this is what they do. They kind of fit in there. It's actually a super tight fit. Not super tight, but so whatever your glue of choice is, you see I'm rocking it out of there, and that's why I didn't want to push it all the way, because when I did it the first time, it was hard to get out. Hit your glue of choice and stick those in. So then we go into glue, fix plastic parts on carbon tube. That's what I covered. Align carbon tube fuselage and install after installing rear fuselage into tighten with screws. Okay. So there's only one way it can actually go on. There's a larger piece here and a smaller piece here, larger piece here, smaller piece here. There's two inserts. Not many screws come in the bag, so be obvious what you use. So these are threaded, these are wood screws, so obviously these are threaded positions. And all of these screws in this bag look to be the same size, so I'm gonna go with one of these is the right one. Let me get that out the bag and get ready. So I got my trusty many-in-one tool that I love because it just many reasons why. Anyway, I'm gonna get an alignment check first. I'm gonna put my tool down to give me both hands. Kind of work it in. Make sure you have it right side up, because otherwise at this point you'll be stopping because it won't go in. Ooh, it went in and it actually snapped, which is, I don't know why it snapped, but that seems good. I'm gonna go ahead and not fully convinced that this is the right screw, but go ahead and get the screw in that I have if I can stop dropping it. And none of this really needs to be on video, but certain bloopers make it to the final cut, you know? Oh, something snapped there. Yeah, when I rocked it into place, the screw went into the socket where it's supposed to go. And that's all she wrote. So, oh, it's stuck into my little foam form quite well. Get this flipped over, get another screw. I don't suppose you need to see me put this other screw in. Shortening the video everywhere I can. The next step goes into they call them speed brakes. You obviously couldn't put them on wrong because they won't go for one and it'll look weird for two. So you put them both in place. Then it says and secure with screw to prevent from falling off. How special is that? Go ahead and get those screwed in. All right, the next step. Flip over, got it. Belly facing up. Insert the elevator rotating shaft into the fuselage until it reaches the bottom, and then fix with two screws to prevent from falling off. I love the way they say to prevent from falling off. Like that's in every step. Anywho, these are metal and they look like there's a picture of them right on the manual. And if you hold them up to here where you can see where they're going to go in, you can see the two places where the screws go. So that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and insert both of them and get the screws put in. They only came with one size screw, so these are the ones that I'm going to use. And of course the multi-tool is set up already, so I ain't going to bother you with the long screw this in portion. Aha! These do not have metal inserts in them. Therefore, the screw package that's left has some wood screws in it. Go ahead and get those poured out, and that's what goes in these holes. Come right back with that. This is something I'm gonna probably ask for your opinion on. There's two holes. They correspond to these two openings. I guess if yours does something different, let me know. But one of my screws goes completely flush into it. The other one doesn't. So, and one of them is recessed in the plastic and the other one isn't. So I don't know. I guess, yeah, see how you can see this is recessed a little bit? And then this one is further up. Now on the other side, this screw recesses, but then this one sits like way high out of it. I'll show you when I finish getting this one screwed in. Yeah, maybe I'll figure it out before the end of the video, but yeah, same situation. You can see because of the piece is tapered, one hole is deeply recessed, one hole isn't, but to me, it feels like this needs to go deeper in that hole, which of course anybody's gonna say, just cut the screw, but they don't tell you to cut the screw in the directions, and it's kind of what, you know, I'm growing to learn that you're gonna get with these type situations, these jets from motion, is that you're gonna have to, it's a hobby, you're supposed to freelance and figure things out, blah, blah, blah. I get it. So don't argue with me. I'm just an enthusiast just like you. So it's not a debate or everything doesn't have to be an argument. I just think there should be something that says in the directions about that. It says put the, and then fix it with two screws to prevent from falling off. Nothing in there about one screw sticking up. Yep. The next step goes into put the elevator fixing ring screw hole facing upward, install the groove, wrap it together with the horizontal tail, rotating shaft, and end up with the fuselage each reaches the bottom. Okay, I think they're meaning that's a weird way to say just put both of them on as far as they go. This is this side. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And it goes on far as it goes. Oh, and there's a little hole right here. And one of the things came inside the little parts kit is 2 little collars and the grub screws that go with it, if you can see it. Now, I'm very confident that my multi-tool that I always talk about I love, I'm gonna flip it over and get to the smaller side, and this is gonna be the right size for this grub. Watch and see. And that's what, yep, and that's why I love this multi-tool. It seems to always be easier to deal with than other methods I have used before this. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in and go ahead and try to, there we go, tighten that down. And now we got a full control surface. Just to mention, there is Loctite on these little set screws. So I'll go ahead and feed this in, get this in there, stick it all the way. So I hope that comes through good enough on video where it's a decent explanation of what's going on. All right, so yep, that's that. The control surface can move while this piece stays still. I'm not gonna super tighten it just yet, even though it does have Loctite on it. I'm just gonna tighten it down where it won't come apart because I might need to move it or something. All right, so that's it. We got our 2 control surfaces. Moving on to the rudder. So we got the wires tucked in here neatly. Light. Gonna probably be another light. Strobe light. And of course, this will be your rudder servo. If you look at the board, you got flash, light. I don't know why it says flash, then light, but there's only one 3-position plug. And when you look for the positive and negative, it looks like there's a positive and negative right here on the board itself, meaning that the positive goes to the right side, which is definitely not explained well within the directions because you're going to end up with the positive in the middle as normal. But let me see if I can find anything in the book about that. Yeah, as you can see, it says flash, then light and light. In the manual, it says rudder, flash, light. That's weird. But in the book, it gives you the negative, positive, then signal. So going from left to right. All right, that's the finished product. So all of the negatives on the left side. And obviously it was only a 2-pin, so you know it couldn't have been that way. But there's actually an extra light. I don't know if you could ever need that for this, but anyway, it's there. So then I'm gonna get this neatly tucked in, probably put some back in here. I like to do that. Get some of the slack out of the way so that it doesn't get jumbled up inside the cavity. Get this put on. Well, after you get this into place, you see that there's a channel right here for the wires to travel in. And not that they will even stay put, but yeah, it goes down super easy. So that means they're not really smashing them, even if you didn't get them in that channel well. But I'm pretty confident I did. After this, more screws, 4 screws. Next step is to take the wing tubes and glue the little conical pieces, they call them. We used to call these tampions in the M197 gun, but Anyway, I'm just gonna get these glued in. That's it. The next section in the book kind of goes in the explaining these lock latches on the wing, which is so awesome, let me say, after playing with the other side. And look at this. Like, first when I got to the other side, I was like pulling this out to see where it went to. Like, but this is like a plug holder. How cool is that? Never been done before. Very cool, very awesome, very appreciated. Like little added amenities like that. So you're gonna guide your 2 tubes in. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect my electrical connection. Now, I do think like some of the stuff like on the A10 for the E-flite A10, that way that plugs in is super cool, but I don't know, like a lot of these guys that come to my field, they take apart their birds and bring them home every time. I'm more or less the kind of person who I like to keep it put together because, you know, I don't want to stress the parts out. And I think like this should last more because it kind of like snaps in a little bit. But anyway, you've seen them before. If you're into these birds, they're all the same. So now when you get it to the point where the wire's not catching, the wire's actually feeding into the opening that they got for it, that's it. You're locked. So the book kind of covers it in a very, like a hard to understand way, I would say. But with both of these out, and you can hear it positively snap in, you're locked. But if these were like anything like this, that means you're not locked, right? So you just push them in, you release them. As long as they lock and both are completely forward, this one completely aft, so like both outward, you're good. If they're both in, that means you're not locked at all. If they're anywhere in between, like something like this, that means you're not locked. But of course, I moved the wing slightly and let's see if I can get this to stay there. Yeah. So if you got something like this where this one's locked, then this one's not, you're not good. But then of course, by the time you just let it go, maybe once the bird gets a little older, that won't be as pliable. So anywho, that's that on the wings. So the front, this part always gets broken. I can appreciate it's got like a flat side and a half octagon, and it kind of presses in there. It's actually pretty tight. So I would suspect a lot of people would just like this for looks, but then maybe not fly it. So I'm going to probably leave that out and make the decision at the field with the owner. He's probably not going to want any of these other kind of little things that they have to glue on the outside of here. That stuff will just, he's a real flyer and he'll probably break it off instantly anyway. So I'll see. But the next couple of steps in the book kind of cover that. Oh, these two, the trademark streaks on the back of the F-16. Let's get those put on. Those gotta go. All right. So I don't need to really cover that much. Just get them out the bag and they're gonna go on like that. And get that screwed in. I gotta say, after screwing the first screw in, I would have to say that I'm not super duper happy with this. These are countersunk screws that don't exactly countersink into this. And they're sticking out the backside. Like, unless I'm making a mistake, that's not super cool to me, I think. So there's a hole where this antenna would have been, open if I didn't put it in. So I went ahead and put that. And there's also some holes on the wingtips where these little antennas go in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in. Now this, I decided not to glue because the fit was so tight. Like these wingtip ones, they're gonna get handled a lot more. I don't think they're gonna be able to go without glue. But that one, I could barely pull it out. So I was like, you know what? At least it won't, break while it's not being tried to be pulled out or something. Because if you handle this thing and you hit that, you're gonna definitely break it. But if it's just sitting there, maybe a little bit less of a chance of hurting something. So I'm gonna get the rest of these put in around and make decision if they're too hazardous for the owner, because like I say, he doesn't like a lot of that stuff, but it does look good when you see all these kind of accents on an airplane. So I'm gonna get it all dolled up, and if he wants to take them out, then we'll take them out. Let's take a look inside this cockpit. I'm dying to see these contacts, and I haven't touched this until yet. Oh yeah, look at that. That is very cool. You got your spacious battery compartment that you've been promised. And for a little skinny F-16, this is pretty big. Let's get a battery. This is just what I got handy, but this is two 3200s. So that'll be a 6,000 fitting in there with the room on the sides and room under the canopy. This canopy, oh, look at that. The canopy sits flat. That's cool. I love that because, man, I hate when a canopy sticks down for whatever reason they do that. All right, that's all I wanted to look at that. Everything is labeled, so I didn't bother you with along me connecting these lines up. I'm probably dress that up a little bit, put all the flaps down so that they're under, and Velcro that in. Looks like this will be a good spot right here, but it's going to be something I have to work out with the owner because he's going to use two 4,000 batteries in here, two 4S. I don't know. We'll have to see what he uses, and then kind of maybe I'll put the receiver right here, but I don't know if there'll be room. So otherwise, we might can stick it. He's not using any kind of AS3X or anything, so we could probably push it somewhere. Anyway, unimportant. I'll work that out when I get that part done. But for right now, we can just go ahead and, this is cool. It comes with an EC3. Like, I don't know how that works out, but it looks like it might even have a shock arrestor in there. That's weird, or it might just be the springs. Anywho, we'll know because I'll see a spark right here. Slight spark, not bad. All right, so we got some beeping. All right, aileron's wrong. I don't know if elevator's wrong because it's not connected. Yeah, I gotta get this in a good position. So the ESC isn't arming. Rudder's correct, that's cool. All right. So I got everything neutral. I'm not sure why the ESC isn't arming, but I'm not gonna worry about that too much right now. Just try to get everything set up and kind of go from here. All right, so I got the battery connected. It's not super tight in there, but let's see if we can tighten that a little bit. All right, that shouldn't move. Here's the moment I have been waiting for. I'm so excited about this little LED on this panel here, I could tell you. I mean, how cool is that? Yes, yes, that is very cool. Yes, I love that. One of, I would say, the coolest features I have seen this year. So I don't know how much stock that provides, but apparently somebody's done this in the past, but I haven't seen it done. Now, I noticed while I was lifted this up a little bit, like this is slightly loose. Oh, it's tight on the side, so it's not really gonna matter, I guess. But of course, after a couple of flights, you probably put a dab of glue right here just to, maybe I'll do that now, because yeah, that's too loose. All right, small thing though. So at this point, let me get out of here. I'm gonna flip it over. So, strangely enough, all the control surfaces look perfect. Like, I can't do any adjustment. Like, this is the perfect out the box bird. Like, it's totally perfect. Nothing needs to be adjusted. Let's get this flipped over. The final step is going to be to connect these leftover parts, which are just linkages. So there's 4 things need to be connected, and there's 4 linkages left. So kind of, you know, it is what it is, I guess. So there's 2 shorts and 2 longs. So in the directions, I was about to break out the ruler, but it's a simple thing. The elevator is 102 millimeters. The speed brake is 124. So obviously the longer of the 2. And they show like a speed brake push rod mount hole, which I'm not understanding that with the directions. But I see a hole in the side of here, and this spins around, so maybe you put a ball in there. Let's see if I can find any more understandable directions for that. So after further evaluation, I didn't even look at this. This is not a ball end on top of here, but there is a hole in it. I spun it around when I was looking at it before I got off, and that makes sense. They show a little arrow to the hole, so you just don't put one of these ends on at all. You basically just put it in the hole and screw the screw down. There's a set screw, so easy enough. So getting to the intricate details, I got that hooked up. Those air brake thingies, I don't even have them tightened down yet, but anyway, they're in the hole. Get this screw kind of hand tight. All right, so I got this linkage. I tightened it down to where I'm kind of centered as I can be from top to bottom on the air brake. So the air brake is fatter than the control surface, but I got kind of like the same distance from the top and the bottom measured, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. I don't need a snap ring because it goes on real easy. I definitely would need a pliers to get that off though. All right, so I got that. I'm going to do that to the second side. I got that part done. We may have an adjustment at the field, but I'm not too worried about that. And center of gravity, additional notes, Y clevis type user product equipped with transparent reinforcement shown. Okay, same thing we normally have, but I don't know where that is. I'm going to have to check everything because nothing has them on it. These has these. That's it, unless it's on a landing gear somewhere. All right, then CG. It looks like it should have a CG mark on here. It does. The aircraft has a CG mark, which is so cool to me because not many companies are doing this, and now you got some people put a big ugly mark, some people dimple it. This is cool. It's got it on there. No guesswork. Let's get this flipped over and take a look at this sweetheart. Actually, let's check the gear. Whoa. Okay. So the first time the gear doors just opened and then paused and then shut. Whoa, there's suspension on this. Look at that. There's suspension on this. This is cool. Oh, this is so cool. All right, so it's got all your lights, all your gear doors. Not on the back ones, but anyway. So cool, so cool. This is incredibly cool. So much about this airplane is incredibly cool that I just can't help but be excited. It does have a few little things that I didn't exactly like, but who am I to judge? To me, it still just doesn't look cool at all without wingtips. So let's remedy that for this look. So look at it. So that's the look I'm looking for. Something about those wingtip ordnance that just makes the Warbirds look official. That's the look with... I didn't put the big drop tanks on. Those things are huge and I don't think they'll ever get flown, to be honest with you. As well as these other missiles. They'll probably actually never get on. I'll try to talk him into flying these, but he's more into performance. He's going to want to see how fast this thing can go, so... he may stray away from any ordnance, but I'll try to talk him into it. At least the wingtips, you know, like that's the look. That's the look right there. Without these, this can be removed. Also, you can fly it with no wingtip, which would be weird, but at least with this, it kind of still has that look like there's a missile there. But of course, this is even cooler. We'll see. That kind of wraps up everything about the install. Let me cover a few of the features that people want to know about that are really cool. So let's go ahead and connect the battery.
System idle.
Got my heads-up display. The heads-up display is something I'm super excited about. A little movement of control surfaces. If you want to see that, your ducts for your feed of the motor, when you lay on the power, these will open up and feed back, you know, feed more power into the duct. Let's see how that motor sounds. You can actually see those getting pulled in, and this is only on 6S, by the way, not on 8S, but watch this. I'm gonna kind of zoom into it too. That's cool. And like I say, this is just 6S, so it'll open all the way under 8S power and really open up the, you know, control of this bird. Not the control, but the speed, and, you know, allowing you more air in, more air out. So the next feature that's awesome is these air brakes. You could put them on a knob and kind of roll them out slow if you want to. Let's do that. So if you put them on a knob, you can do some kind of slow thing like this, or you could do a delay. Let's switch it back. That's on the knob. I'm gonna take it off the knob and put it back on. So this is them set up in like a flap configuration, and I got it dramatic at 5 seconds. How cool is that? That looks so cool. Oh my goodness. I love that. So that covers that. We covered the air ducts, the lights. You got your wingtips. You got your flasher. Got a solid light backlight. Got a red on that side. And of course, the super awesome feature that I have never seen before, but people tell me that it's not something new. I haven't been into airplanes for very long. I'm sure that it probably has came out before, but this is so cool. Like this heads-up display, if you're flying at any time, I'm hoping it works in a daylight where you can see it well, but that thing is awesome. So that's that. Oh, we got some more lights down here, the corresponding green and red. So that's also cool effect. Very cool effect. I like it a lot. Pretty much, I can't think of many things that I don't like about how beautiful this is. And the owner has the 6S version, so this will be a good contrast to see what that extra cell count will do to the funness of this. He's very dramatic when it comes to power birds. He likes everything full throttle, so we'll see how this holds up. He definitely will burn out an ESC if the aircraft isn't equipped to take it. We've done that 6 or 7 times. But he loves what he does. So I'm gonna conclude this. Please, if you bought one and you just want a little quick look at things before you get into the build, take a look at this. I think this should help you. This is a good look at things. If you're interested in buying one and you want to kind of see what's going on with the build, take a look at this. Fast forward to the parts that make it, you know, what you need. Don't look at everything if you don't need it all. This is more of an overview for somebody who wants a lot of details about something. I showed you pretty much every step of the way. So feel free to fast forward to what you actually need. Don't look at the whole long video. Just do what you need. I guess that's all I got to say about it, really. I'm going to do a separate video since this took way too long of the flight. So I'm going to try to get this posted as soon as I can. And then hopefully tomorrow it'll be a good day and I can get out to the field and deliver this to the owner and we can get it all set up. Usually something we do after everybody else is kind of finished flying. We don't want to be in the air at the same time as somebody else when we're doing a maiden on something so special. So we'll go ahead and get this in the air tomorrow if we can. If not, I'll keep you posted, or you'll just look for the video and eventually get to see it. So that's all I got to say about that stuff, and we'll see you at the field. So that was a good little quick look at the F-16 setup and all the install of all the parts to get it in the air. This thing is just beautiful, man. Looking at the body lines, all the rivets and everything. I think, like a lot of guys I've seen talk about rivets on videos, these rivets are way over dramatic compared to real rivets, because on a real aircraft, you don't want these little knobbies sticking up. You want it as flat and smooth as possible. So real aircrafts don't have very big divots or rivets sticking out, but they look good on the model. So I love the wingtips. They're painted. They're perfect looking. Oh my goodness, these are so sexy. I love the lights. I love the ducts. The air brakes are super dope. Grab this. Go ahead and deploy them. Probably can't see that, but I got them on 5-second delay. They dramatically open up. Hopefully this thing flies great, and I'll definitely get it all on video and show you. I forgot to talk about reverse thrust, so I just assigned it to the switch I normally assign it to. I might actually put it on the brake. Yeah, let's do that right fast. All right, take a second and set that up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back out. So we're putting along, and a little too much throttle right there, and then coming in, I'm landing. I'm on the ground, then reverse thrust. Let it off, back to forward. So as long as you're holding this, it's like a brake. Yeah, so it's blowing out the front right now, and it's sucking. And watch when I give it some throttle and I hold a duck, and that's on 8S. So this thing is a beast. It's super loud. Gonna be fun.